Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when and where you are in the world when you watch this video. Hello, Jim and Jerry here, and I've been meaning to do this video for a while now, but things have just been absolutely nuts, crazy, whatever you want to call it. I think I did a video on the Crown 4 tank. I don't remember. Needless to say, though, I got rid of that tank. I didn't really... It was an okay tank, but its mesh coils for me really don't work. And that can be for another time. Short reason, once you hit an empty tank and get that burn taste like the first time, it screws up the coils. Most tanks are not that way. The screen tank is not that way for sure. We have a new tank though, and does this one beat the screen tank? Because as you all know, the screen tank is my favorite and has been since I've gotten it. Does it have a competitor? Enter the ring with the Falcon King. The Falcon King. This is set at 85 watts. I'm hoping you can see that. There we go. So let's go ahead and vape on it real quick, and we'll talk about it. I currently have Pink Elephant in here from Vape Wild. Very good juice. And I've done a fast steep on it. I will do a video or attempt to do a video showing you how I did it. It's very easy to do. And yes, a blind person can do it. And keep in mind that my videos are more geared toward, you know, visually impaired aspects of things. I'm very glad that a lot of you sighted people like my videos. But, you know, I don't go into everything like, you know, Suck My Mod does, or Mike Vapes, or Rip Trippers, but they all do really well. And any tank I review, or any mod I review, or anything like that, one of them has always done, because that's how I find out about this stuff. So, there you go. So, Falcon King. As a lot of you know, I had the Falcon tank last year, and while I liked the vape on it well enough, I did not like the tank. One huge reason why I didn't like it is when you would take the bottom off to change the coil, at least for me, because of how I hold the rest of the tank, I was always taking the top off, or it was starting to come off. I'm like, no, that's not what it did. No. Well, that's one of the pluses of this tank. This tank here, hopefully you can see this. There's a button right there, and if I push that button, then as you saw, the top slides. And then there is the fill port right there. It's a nice, decent-sized fill port. Although this kind of does sort of get in the way, especially with bigger bottles that are like 100 mil, 120 mil. It does kind of get in the way, but it is doable. Sorry for the beeping in the background. It's a truck of some sort, so obviously I can't do anything about it, but I do apologize. Now, when you're done filling your... Well, first of all, before I close this, the trick for visually impaired people to find out if your tank is empty or if you've got it full does work. You can blow right across the fill port on this tank, and it does work. So that's a plus as well. And when you close this, as you hear, you get a nice click, satisfying click. It is not going anywhere. And folks, I changed the coil last night, in fact, and I had gotten the bottom screwed on a little too tight, and I was afraid I was going to somehow break the top or somehow get something to come open, but nope, it didn't. So, huge plus there. Another huge plus, when they came out with the Falcon King tank, they also came out with some new coils. However, One thing I don't like, they don't have a triple mesh, a newer triple mesh coil. They only had, oh Lord, was it a single mesh, I think? And I'm trying to remember, did they have a dual mesh? Yeah, I think they had both. They had a single mesh and a dual mesh, but the wattage, they didn't go quite as high as I like. So another good plus for this tank is it's backwards compatible with the Falcon coils. So you can use and I do, you can use the triple mesh coil that can do 85 watts, and you can use that in this tank just fine. This does also ramp up really fast. You'll see when I push the button. Check that out. And that's on the Diamond mod. So it ramps up really fast. And like I said, I do have it at 85 watts. I wouldn't go any higher than that. I don't think the Falcon coils can. Be nice if they'd come out with one that did, though. 100 watts, 120. The screen tank, yeah, it can go up. The triple mesh coil, you can do 120 with it. I don't, but you can. I generally use it at about 100 watts, sometimes 105, depending on the juice that I'm using. Cloud production with this particular tank, I've been told, is really good. We're going to compare it, though, with the screen tank here in just a moment. From what I've been told, the clouds are just, they're almost as good as the screen tank, but that the screen tank's clouds seem to linger a lot longer. So that's, that's still that. As far as flavor goes, no break. Well, and I guess at this point it's more for the coil than it is the tank. But one of the things I like about the triple mesh coil for the Falcon tank, practically no break-in, and the coils do last a very, very long time. I can get 3 weeks out of a Falcon triple mesh coil, and I vape like crazy. So, I mean, I go through, almost 30 mil of juice in a day, if that tells you anything. These coils don't mess up if you accidentally empty the tank, and you get that burn taste, as long as you fill up the tank right away. Oops. You don't have the same issue you do with the Crown 4. That was one of my biggest gripes about the Crown 4. Is that, the fact that, and that's kind of sad too, because they underrated their coils for power. And the mesh coil and the stainless steel, you could use it like 90, 95 watts. Now, the fact that you mess up the coil real easy like that, at least for me. Now, I don't know if maybe I just got a bad batch of coils, but because we moved, I got rid of most of my tanks, and I only kept 2. I kept this one, meaning the Falcon King, and I kept the screen tank. Screen tank, for obvious reasons, it's like my favorite tank. This tank does have a 6 mil bubble glass on it, which I like. The tank also feels kind of hefty. It makes this mod a bit heavier than it is with the screen tank on it. So the build quality, it's a hefty tank, and it feels hefty. It feels solid. I like how it feels. It doesn't feel like it's going to fall apart easily or anything like that. So I do like it for that. All right, so without further ado, we are going to put some batteries in this other mod that I have here. And we're going to put the Falcon King up against the screen tank. And we're going to see who wins. Let's see. That battery goes. that way, and this battery goes this way.
Oh, Master, I am your new warrior.
You know, I'm glad you are. All right, so there we go. We've got the screen tank on here. Come on. Oh, that's right. I forgot. This one doesn't turn itself on automatically like the Diamond does when you change batteries. So we'll just give it 5 clicks of the fire button.
Oh, Master, I am your new warrior.
All right. All right. Now, let's see. Are you going to listen to me today or not? Hello, iPriv. Hello, iPriv.
I'm here.
High power.
Power has been increased.
High power.
Power has been increased.
High power.
Power has been increased.
All right, so we're up to 100 watts. Where's my camera? There you go. Hopefully you can see that, 100 watts. And let's just make sure I've got... I don't feel like no 100 watts. Okay. But I'm assuming it is. Let's do... Hello, iPriv.
I'm here.
High power.
Power has been increased.
There we go. All right. Now we've got Pink Elephant in both of these tanks. Now this is kind of an unfair test. And it's unfair to the screen tank in the sense that this coil has been in this tank again. I can get damn near 3 weeks out of even these coils, you know, flavor-wise. So this, the Falcon King was changed last night. The screen tank, this coil has been in here about 3 weeks. But it's still got really good flavor. So let's go ahead. Let's do the Falcon King first. And then we'll, because it's the Challenger. And then we'll do the screen tank. So here we go. All right, so there's the cloud on the Falcon King, which did set off the smoke alarm this morning. All right, let's go ahead and do the reigning champion of the screen tank. And I say reigning champion because not only a flavor, but, you know, how long the coils last and the vapor production and everything. So let's go ahead and do this one. Here we go. All right, so those of you who can see, go ahead and let us know which one you think did a better vapor cloud. I'm going to tell you right now, taste-wise, like I said, even though this one's still a 3-week-old coil, it still tastes damn good. As far as the... oh, wait a minute. It wasn't a fair test. We got to do the Falcon again because I actually have it halfway closed off because the airflow on it is just insane. All right, so airflow is wide open, just like it is on the screen tank. I always leave its airflow wide open. Okay, there's the screen tank again. Its airflow wasn't all the way open either. It was kind of partially closed. I didn't realize it. Probably when I put the tank on the mod that might have happened. All right, so let's do the Falcon King again. Here we go. Both of them have very good flavor. I will say one of the reasons I have the Falcon King partially closed off is, like I said, the airflow is just insane on the Falcon King. I think it's a little too much. I like a lot of airflow, but I don't like that much. I mean, it's okay. I don't mind it, but I prefer it being just a little bit less than what the Falcon King is. I'm not gonna give it a con for that. Just means you have even more airflow if you want it. I say, as far as I'm concerned, it's a very close competitor. I've actually been using this tank now, probably 3 months. Let me think, 2.5 months, almost 3. Meaning the Falcon King tank. And I trade off and on between it and the screen tank, and have been. And I'm going to say that I think for me, the screen tank wins and is still the champion for one reason only for me. And that is because there's 2 reasons for me. One, with the Falcon King, if you get it to the very top, it does have some serious spit back where the screen tank does not. Even if you accidentally overflow the screen tank a little bit and it kind of leaks out a little, the screen tank really doesn't spit back at you when you hit it. However, the Falcon King does. And me personally, I just don't like that. That's just me personally. If you don't mind it, you may not find that a con, but that's a con for me. One of the only other con is that with the best coils that I have been able to use, unless there's something that's come out new that I don't know about yet, but the best coils I have found for it are the triple mesh Falcon coils that were for the original Falcon tank. They're the best ones as far as even wattage goes, that you can use a little more wattage, a little more power, get a little more warmth out of it. You only want to use about 85 watts on the triple mesh, and closing the airflow off a little bit also helps kind of get some of that warmth back, but it still isn't quite the warmth and whatnot that the screen tank has. Like I said, you can use it 105 watts with no problems. Now, I will say that the Falcon King, again, it's the coil, it's not the tank, but you can chain vape it. I haven't had an issue with chain vaping the triple mesh coils that I have seen. There hasn't been any. So the screen tank wins, but it's a lot closer than, say, the Falcon tank itself or the Mesh Pro tank that I put it up against last year as well, meaning put the screen tank up against. The Falcon King is a lot closer. One, because I like the way it opens. I don't really like the sliding method. That's, for me, I think it's the only con on the screen tank, because it's got that sliding method, and I don't like it because it just, I don't know. For me, I just don't like it. I like the fact that the Falcon King has this push button, that you can push this button, it slides open, you fill it up, it's got a nice, decent sized port, but then also when you close it, you get that satisfying click knowing that it's locked and it's not going nowhere. It's not going anywhere at all. So there you go. There's my review for the Falcon King tank. One thing I did forget to say, it does have 3 airflow holes on the bottom. And it's ring is pretty easy to turn, does have stopping points, but it's not like horribly tight. It's quite, you know, I think it's good enough. You're not going to accidentally do it, but you don't have to try to. I remember when I got the screen tank, that was kind of one of my cons in the beginning. Its airflow, trying to adjust it is harder, especially depending on the mod you're using. Like on this mod here, the iPriv. It's a little harder to get at it, and it's a little harder to turn it on this particular mod, at least for me. So that was kind of one of my cons. But there you go. Hope you guys have liked this review. If you have, you know the routine. Give it thumbs up. If you didn't like it, well, you're not going to hurt my feelings any. Give it thumbs down. Also, if you feel free enough to do so, feel free to make a comment down in the comments section. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't, what you could see, different things like that. We're using a tripod now with an iPhone, so the videos are going to sound better and probably look better, at least quality-wise. I don't know if I quite have it aimed right yet, but, you know, it is what it is. But for me, I like better sounding audio, and that's what you're going to have with these videos, at least while I have the tripod. So, with that, take care, everyone. Let's have one last vape. There you go. Keep on vaping, everybody, and until next time, take care.